गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. ओम ओम ओम. इक regarding शास्त्रीय व्यवहार. Now शास्त्रीय व्यवहार विषये अभ्यधिका तो शंका. लौकिक व्यवहारा is due to avidya, we have understood, because it is obvious. many reasons have been given. All these reasons are showing the anubhava, not anumana type of reasons. They are only just pointing out the experience. This will come later. Now Shastriya Vyavahara. Like Shastriya Vyavahara means religious activity, religious thinking, religious talking, and religious activity. All religious procedure. I think we were discussing this thing. Shastriya tu Vyavahare ityarabhya shanka grantaha tatapi ityarabhya tu parihara grantaha. That's okay, technical. Now, Shanka tavatu purvameva upavarnita bhavatu nama laukika vyavaharanam avidya purassaratvam. Now the Purvapakshi says Akshepa. Did we discuss this? No, I think we have to discuss. Yeah, we have to discuss. No, just a minute. Let me confirm. Adhyasa Sugama. 47 we have come. I think 48 alone is correct. Because these days I am forgetting. Because a lot of gaps are coming. Where I am forgetting. Okay. Laukika Vyavahara is presupposes Adhyasa, is within Adhyasa, is clear. But now the question is, what about the Shastriya? Because Shastriya means the religious behavior which is inspired by Shastra Jnanam. Veda teaches that you are not the body and you are going to another world and take another birth. So Shastra Jnanam cannot be due to ignorance. Shastra Jnanam has to be out of ignorance. It has to be real. Therefore, they say, Drishtartatvat, nahi drishtartha. Laukika Jnanam is based upon perception and inference. So you say that it is due to ignorance. So maybe let us accept. Since perception and inference involve the ignorance. But here, drishtartha, because that pertains to this world that is known, that is seen. Bhavatu nama laukika vyavaharanam avidya purassaratvam drishtarthatvat nahi drishtartha pravrittir deha vyatirikthatma jnanam apekshate. Because for the worldly behavior, worldly knowledge and worldly behavior, you don't need, what is that? Pravrittir deha vyatirikta atma jnanam. You don't need a knowledge that Atma is beyond the body. Because an atheist, any atheist who doesn't believe in Shastra, who doesn't believe in Atma, Atma's existence independent of the body, who doesn't believe in Atma being connected to the another world and another body, who doesn't believe, he just sees the present world visible. Drishtartha means the experience and knowledge within this body alone, within this janma alone, within this janma, within this body and mind and sense organs. That's all. Now, but Shastriyetu Vyavahare, Shastriyetu, Dehapatottara kala phaleshu karmasu. Shastriya means what? Dehapatottara kala phaleshu karmasu. In the matter of the result which is going to be experienced in another body, in another world. Dehapata uttara kale. In a period when after the body drops off. After the body drops off, you are going to live in another body or in another world. So that time experiences of that time and the karmas of present life, which are going to connect you. These karma, see, there are two types of karmas. Some karmas connect you to this world alone, this worldly experiences alone. But some karmas connect you to the other world experience or next Janma experience. So some karmas which you do now, these karmas will connect you to the next Janma or to the next Loka. That means, so all the karmas are not same, and some special karmas will give you the result which you can experience only in the next Janma or in the next world. How do you know those karmas? Shastriyeshu dehapato na vyatirikta atma jnanam vina pravritti rupa padyate. So that knowledge comes only through Shastra. Shastra alone tells two things, that you exist even after the death of the body. You continue to exist even after the death of the body in another body or in another world. Second, this is one knowledge. Second knowledge, these particular actions if you perform, you will have to pay for the result. You will have to experience the result of them at that time. So the karmas performed with this body have connection after the death of the body, connection with the life after the death of the body. Karmas have a connection. Second is you yourself continue to exist. These two knowledges only Shastra has to give. A human mind, an atheist mind cannot understand. Therefore, we call such person as an atheist who doesn't believe the continuation of Atma after the death of the body. And secondly, the connection of the karmas which you do now, the connection of these karmas with the life after the body, after the death of the body. That means a later life. The karmas being connected and you continuing to exist, these two knowledges you cannot have either through perception or your inference. Therefore, neither science cannot tell you that you have another birth or another loka, nor can tell you that your present karmas will have a punya papam. This is called technically punyam and papam. So certain karmas produce, most of the karmas produce punyam and papam. Punyam papam is such a result. Punyam and papam is such a result which can be experienced or whose connection with us cannot be understood through perception and inference. Punyam and papam is a result of karma which cannot be understood by the perception and inference. It can be understood only in a Divya Drishti or Shastra Drishti. Shastra Divya Drishti means Rishis Divya Drishti or Shastra Drishti. All that put together broadly we call them Shastra. Okay. Shastriyeshu Dehapatottara Kala Phaleshu Karmasu Navetirikta Atma Jnanam Vina Pravritti Rupa Padyate. A person doesn't undertake such actions. No pravritti means no function on your aspect. Unless you believe, you know that you survive the death of the body in some form and in some place. Unless you are convinced of it, unless you accept it, nobody will go about doing certain rituals and certain things which will give you the result after death of the body. Maranottara kale. Pravritti rupa padyate. See, a person who doesn't believe in his surviving the death of the body, he can never do any ritual karma. He can never do any Shastriya karma. Because Shastriya karma is meant for only that. And if you don't believe, if you don't have the knowledge, you can never do that karma. Therefore, the rituals, prayers, upasana, bhakti, madi, all those things, they say madi means people think of only physical. If thing is clean, no bacteria, that's all, that is madi. That's why our knowledge is becoming so scientific. See, the word scientific is considered as a very respectable word. Okay? The word scientific is considered as a very respectable, intelligent word. But in Shastriya Paribhasha, scientific looks as a childish. Scientific is only very superficial, limited knowledge. Therefore, the same word scientific means he doesn't have a vision of life after the death. And the vision of karmas, the present life has got a connection. Present life affects your life after death. This connection science cannot understand. So science is blind in this area. Science is ignorant, illiterate, or blind to this aspect. It is incapable of understanding. It is incapable of discovering this because science has got only two eyes. That is the perception and inference. Pratyaksha, Anumana ಎಂಬ ಎರಡು ಕಣ್ಣುಗಳೇ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ಗಿವೆ. ಸೈನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಎರಡು ಕಣ್ಣುಗಳೇ ಇವೆ. ಪ್ರತ್ಯಕ್ಷ ಇದೆ, ಅನುಮಾನ ಇದೆ. Science has got only two eyes, perception and inference, pratyaksha and anumana. But this knowledge, this life after the death, and your experiences and the life, you are surviving the death of the body, and the experiences of that life are governed by the present life, or the karmas, or the life you live here. The type of life we live now is going to decide what kind of life you are going to have after the death of the body. See, this is a very beautiful logic. This also is another karya karana bhava, another principle only Shastra can tell. Your later life is decided by the present life you live. How you use your will, what beliefs you have, what thoughts you entertain, what actions you do. It involves moral, spiritual, religious, mystic, and so on. Emotional, all. Physical, emotional, values, all these things are involved in it. So, the type of life you live is going to be, the type of life you live here is going to determine what type of life you are going to have after the death of the body. In these things, generally all religions believe. All religions believe this much, that there is a life after the death of the body. That's all. But that life is going to be determined according to the present life. Regarding this alone, there is a difference between religion to religion. I think mainly not much difference. These Abrahamic religions too, they say you believe somebody and do anything after the death of the body, you will go to heaven. May they say, some people say that there is a purgatory. Purgatory means some people go, purgatory is an English term. I think we are not aware of it. Purgatory means it is a purifying our mind. So they say, some people, whatever sins you incur, if you are a believer in that religion, either Islam or Christianity, the general rule is like this. I explain little bit, you will understand. The general rule is, if you believe their prophet, their religion, that's all. And you are destined to heaven only. But you may ask but people even after believing also commit a lot of sins, then what will happen to them? They say, generally those sins don't count. Two replies are there. One is those sins won't touch you at all, because since you believe them, and you will be going to heaven alone. That's all. Permanent heaven. You will have permanent happiness. Those sins will count only when you don't believe it. Since you believe their prophet and their God, that's all those sins will be forgiven. Second answer some of them hold is, for those sins you commit, even after believing, if you commit some sins, you will, before you go to heaven, you will pass through a small period close to hell. It is not really hell, at the border of periphery of the hell. A periphery of the hell, you go there, you enjoy little bit of, it is something like going near the fire. You feel little hot, you won't be burnt, but just a little bit heat you feel and come away, that's all. So therefore, you go near to the hell, and then later you will be purified, you will exhaust your karmas and come away, go to heaven. So there are two replies. So one is your sins committed, even after believing that religious prophet and their God, even after that, you will, all your sins, whatever you commit, just don't count, because your very belief will save you from all these sins. And original sin and later sins, I think they have got two kind of sins. One is the original sin, and then cardinal sin, other sins, I forgot the name. They use some word in English. So cardinal sin is original sin, and other sins. Okay, secondary sins, probably auxiliary sins, something like that. All those sins won't count. That means generally they advise you not to commit them. But even if you commit, doesn't matter. They advise you not to commit them because you may slip away from this belief. Their concern of certain discipline, certain values, all that is only to retain your belief in their prophet or in their promise. That's all. The purpose of all other discipline, all other karmas, the karmas and life doesn't decide your life after death. Belief alone decides. Then what about the karmas? The karmas keeps you in that belief, that's all. If suppose you have the belief in spite of being a biggest criminal, doesn't matter. You can be comfortably criminal. You can be happily, without any guilt, without any worry, you can be a biggest criminal. You can commit every crime on the earth, but as long as your faith is not shaken, your faith in that prophet, faith in that God is not shaken. The promise of God through your prophet is not shaken, because it is the faith alone that decides your life after death life. Okay, you will be sent eternal heaven and you will be happy there eternally. Therefore, I don't know much about their religion, but this is what vaguely I understand from my reading. So the karmas don't count much. They are just secondary. But if they are advised to follow daily Sunday prayer or Friday prayer, all that is only to keep your faith in them. That's all. Faith alone counts. Faith alone counts. Therefore, the karma, that's why you see them, they commit all sins still, as long as he belongs to that religion, that's all, is considered as a great man. And Hindus don't understand, because the Hindus are so illiterate, so ignorant, and so stubbornly want to be ignorant about Islam and Christianity. Stubbornly they want to be ignorant. This is a peculiar guna of, I think, pertains to Hindus of Kali Yuga only. Nowhere you find and nowhere you can ever think of. It's a stubbornly they want to remain in ignorance about Islam and Christianity. There are many versions within Christianity. There are some people who say that Jesus was not like what we know through all these missionaries and church. Jesus was different, and he was also a saint. And so there are many versions anyway. But the prevalent version alone we know, because that's what affects the world now. The other versions, somewhere in a corner with a very few people know. Most of the majority know only this version alone, the common version. So we are only talking of common version. A few exceptional things are there. It's not that they are not there, I know them. They are there exceptionally. Regarding Jesus, they have different idea. Regarding Islam also, there are Sufis, they talk differently. But Sufis are also live under fear, mortally afraid. They can't speak openly. They have to live underground. Only few people believe, small people, handful of people. So that doesn't reflect the mainstream of Islam. And even among the Sufis also, most of them are fanatics alone. They also talk of Sharia and then all that thing. So again, they talk of destroying the Hindu religion, destroying the idols, and then everything they talk of. Same thing. Again, ultimately they come to the same. A very few Sufis, that too they are a handful of people. So that I think I don't want to discuss. It is a very big problem. Even if there is one or good people, one or two Sufis are good, their followers again come back to the Sharia. So you can't say that once you become a Sufi, you are open-minded and really religious man who accepts the spirituality anywhere in the world. That you can't say. Again, even if you are a one Sufi, a given person may be there, but we don't find in Indian Sufis, all of them are same jihadis. In Indian Sufi, you don't find anybody. Maybe there were few, but that in Arabistan and then Iran, few people, but those traditions are also lost now. Now even those Sufis are also becoming jihadis alone. That's why we say mainstream. That's why I talked. Most of the people, majority of them, there are a very few handful of people countable in somewhere in the corner. They don't come out openly. They live underground out of fear. So why do you take an exception? Exception cannot make the rule. So a few exceptional people can't be said as a representative of the original Christianity and original Islam. The original Christianity and Islam is only this alone. Somewhere a few people are there in the corner. Therefore, we take the mainstream into consideration and talk of it. Okay. Now, they say they also believe that Atma survives. In fact, they have no clear concept of Atma. What Atma means what? What does it survive? They think mind is Atma. That we need not go into details. They have no concept of consciousness, independent of body, mind and sense organ, all that they don't have. Anyway, we leave them at this alone. So, this much is clear that Atma survives, or a human being survives the death of the body. And your life will be decided mainly by belief. The karmas enjoined by those religions, the behavior, the prayers, etc., only to keep you in the belief. Ultimately, you take up the belief and live in the belief and follow the belief. So, all other expressions only indicate your belief. So, if your two things, if your behavior reinforces the belief, it is good. Suppose your behavior is wrong, not taught in their books, in their Abrahamic books. Yet, if your belief is strong, you have a sustained belief. You continue in that belief strongly, staunchly. Then your behavior doesn't count at all. Do anything you like. It doesn't count. You'll be forgiven. Because belief alone decides everything. Therefore, you believe that Jesus is my Savior. That's all. Do anything, you will be saved. Believe that your Prophet Muhammad will save. That's all. You do anything, you will be saved. So, belief is the only one which decides your after-death life. So, our Shastras, our means in Hinduism, whatever traditions, number of traditions, Buddhism, Hinduism, Vedikism, Jainism and Sikhism and so many, these are all internal traditions, we talk of them. All of them broadly can be put as one Hinduism or Indian religion, whatever you say, Sanatana Dharma. All these religions are common in one thing, that your afterlife is not same. There is afterlife, but the afterlife is not same for all people. This is first point. Afterlife is not same for all people. There are different grades up and down. And within the particular world, within the particular grade also, it differs from person to person. All that is determined by the type of mind you entertain, the type of quality of mind, the behavior you have morally, spiritually and qualitatively. What kind of mind you have, what kind of behavior you had, and what kind of rituals and karmas and interactions, etc. you do. So all these karmas put together decide. Put together means you can't say in generalized one again. Out of all these karmas, some karmas fructify, some karmas remain yet to be fructified. Therefore, all the karmas that you have done, they won't fructify all of them, start fructifying in at one time alone. No, you can't say. Because karmas are of various types. Some of them fructify, some of them still take time, some of them may take still longer time. Therefore, certain karmas which are ready to sprout, ready to bear fruits, only those karmas are this. So, one is afterlife is not going to be same for all, because belief alone doesn't decide. Your karmas, life, values, thinking, everything, all this put together, your general maturity, your values, moral, spiritual, all that counts. One thing. Second thing, that life is decided by according to your karma. Not all karmas, the karmas which have started bearing fruit. Okay. Then the second point. Third point is, and that life, after life, the particular type of life, we call them, the grades are there, we call them a particular loka. That whatever loka you go to, according to your karma, you will live there, you will be happy, you will enjoy that, as long as your karma lasts. Once the karma is exhausted, that loka ends. You again come back. So these 3 points you have to remember. Afterlife is not same for all. Second, it is determined by only those karmas which started fructifying. There are more karmas, they will fructify at their own time. Third, so it may be, so afterlife can be good and bad. It may be upper world and lower world. A good life, happier life, and a life of suffering also. Painful life or a pleasurable life. Then that life also lasts as long as your karma is there. Once the karma is exhausted, then you may shift that to the another world, or you may come back to the human world only. Sometimes the karmas are many, so there also you may shift from one world to another world. If suppose karma phala is ready, you will shift from one world to another world and another world. After exhausting those karmas, you again come back to this world so that you can rework your life. That means you have got plenty of chances, number of chances. You can work again and again, create your own world. That means the life after death is decided according to the karmas you do. Not only karma is a broad term. It means your mental feelings, thoughts, actions, interaction with people. Actions means 2 kinds of actions. The actions you do individually, actions you do towards others, towards yourself and towards others. So these 2 kinds of actions, thoughts, speeches, feelings, all this put together. How deeply, how wholeheartedly, how sincerely you feel. All these things decide the quality of life you live, the type of experiences you are going to have, the quality, the level, the grade of life you are going to have. I think, anyway, it depends upon others, but I think this Hinduism's explanation looks more meaningful, more logical. Otherwise, just believe one person, do anything and you will be going to eternal heaven. You don't believe it, then you will going to eternal hell, in spite of your good and bad. This is just illogical. So, only one point we say, Atma survives the death of the body. There is a life after the death of the body. Only this much we accept it, that is accepted. But remaining other things, there is no second birth. First is, there is no second birth, only one birth. And the person who dies will remain in the coffin box. Coffin box, you must have seen a dead. They keep the dead body in that box and bury it in the earth. In the earth, they build a samadhi, and they remains there until the judgment day, until the pralaya day, deluge, and then all of them are revived in the same body, and because they have no concept of Atma. So he will remain in the dead body. But how long they remain dead body? The only bones will remain. You open the old coffin boxes, there will be only bones. There is no body at all. And they say he will revive in the same bones probably. I don't know. I don't know. Why do we need the same bones to revive? Is there no Atma independent of the body? They have no concept of Atma at all. They think he will revive in the same body and made to stand in front of in a queue in front of the gate of the heaven, at the gate of heaven. So there will be God sitting there at the gate on a chair. And on the right hand side of the God, according to Christianity, Jesus will be sitting. And according to Islam, Prophet Muhammad will be sitting. And whomever Prophet Muhammad or Christianity, it is still undecided for, for Christians, it is only Jesus alone recommends and things work. And according to Islam, Jesus is outdated. His capacity to recommend is outdated. He has been relieved of it, and only a next person took over the power. So Jesus has no power to recommend you to heaven. So he lost that power to recommend you. Therefore, only Prophet Muhammad alone will recommend you. Therefore, you believe Prophet Muhammad. So this is a dispute between them. So we leave it to them. So for us, between them, whom to believe and who will recommend? Very difficult to understand. But anyway, it goes on. It is only for non-Muslim, non-Christians is a confusion. For us, for them, there is no confusion, because each one believes they alone right and other one is wrong. So anyway, we leave it to them. So whomever Jesus recommends, according to Christianity, I think, are there one queue or two queues? If both religions combined, or even third religion like Judaism, if all the three religions combined, then if all the people are made to revived, brought to life and made to stand in queue, then who will be sitting on the right hand side of God? Moses or Jesus or Prophet Muhammad? Out of these three people, who will sit? But there is only one chair or three chairs, I have no idea. Maybe three chairs will be there. If three chairs, whose word God will believe? God is a confused fellow. These three prophets have confused God. I think, anyway, it's just fun I am telling. Probably there is a deeper meaning to them. We have to ask them. We have to study their religions. My knowledge is limited only, not much. So, I don't know who will recommend, whose recommendation will work. So, recommend for what? Only for belief. They won't count any other things. So, directly you'll go to. But another people say that no, he will consider your karmas, your behavior, your activities, your ethical, moral behavior also. Accordingly, even if you commit gravest sin also, you will be sent near by the hell, close to hell, just have a little bit vapors of hot vapors of the hell, little bit of not very severe suffering, little bit of sweating probably. That's all. You will be relieved of hell, and you will be brought to the heaven. And you will be given a good cool air and you will enjoy. That's all. You don't have to worry. Because your belief saves you. So, one is all people have the same loka and no second janma. And you believe you will be recommended once you go there, eternally remain in heaven. Or eternally you remain in hell. That's all. So, this is totally different. So, you just can't say they are one. All religions are same, only utter fools talk. I tell you, not simple fools. Hardened fools, stubborn fools alone talk like that. All religions are same. This is a disease of Indian gurus alone. Indian gurus have got the biggest disease. They have a bigger disease than even a common man. They are confused fellows and they confuse ordinary people also. I am very sorry to say that, but I don't know what am I to say then. I am very helpless. I seek their forgiveness, but their ignorance won't forgive them. I may seek their forgiveness, but their ignorance won't forgive them. The thing that they have misled people. Even now they continue to mislead people that all religions are same. It is. So our purpose is not to criticize them. They are what they are. Leave them. It is only we people, by believing them wrong things, Misinformation, by believing the misinformation, we get lost. So ultimately, we are the sufferers, not they. The gurus, they save themselves. It's okay. But by believing them, by believing the wrong teaching, we come to suffer. So therefore, it is your responsibility to take what their teaching about Hinduism is okay, perfectly right. But whatever they talk about Islam and Christianity, they have just no idea of what they say. Therefore, regarding that, you just ignore them. I think that's better. You ignore them. Okay? A person who knows Vedanta is not supposed to know everything else. Vedantic omniscience, Vedantic sarvajnata is different from what we think. Vedantic sarvajnata is you transcend mind, you transcend everything and remain as an Atman. But that doesn't mean when you are reflecting through the body and sense organs and mind, when you are manifesting through the mind, mind's limitations come into effect. Even a Brahmagyani, when he manifests through mind, he will have the limitations of the mind through which he manifests. So if the mind doesn't know many other things, he will be ignorant. He means one who is reflecting, one who is manifesting through mind. So there are two levels. When he himself is beyond mind, then he is pure consciousness. Okay, there is no dispute. But the same consciousness is manifesting through mind. Mind's limitations stick to that consciousness. Therefore, there are many things which he may not know or he doesn't know. Many worldly things he doesn't know. He doesn't know about other religions. Therefore, taking their Atmajnanam, their witnesshood, Sakshitvam into consideration, they started advising others. But that's the biggest defect. Therefore, even the Brahmajnanis, Avatara Purushas and Siddha Purushas also, even among the Siddhas, don't take their knowledge for worldly points granted. So, just as in worldly subjects, in whatever subject he is an expert, like a doctor is expert in his medical field, believe him in his subject. But just because he is a doctor doesn't mean he can give you advice about law and economics and then social and other things. No, he can't do. He is like any other ordinary person regarding other subjects. He has expertise in his own field. Similarly, Vedantins have expert in Atma nature, Atma Swarupa. But when it comes to other worldly knowledges and other religions, they are as ignorant as any other person. Therefore, we are not bound to take their words seriously. In Hinduism, particularly in India, a jnani or a bhakta is considered as a sarvajna, omniscient about anything and everything. I tell you, not about anything and everything. They are omniscient about Atma, about Paramatma nature. They are not sarvajna about the worldly topics, about other religions and about many other things. So, their knowledge is limited. If they consciously cultivate, learn, then it's okay. If they make special effort to learn this knowledge of other religions, and then what you say, economics, sociology, and then commerce, there are so many subjects, science and etc. If he learns, then you can take him as an expert in that field. But if he has not studied, he doesn't know. And people keep on asking, so out of common sense, just they imagine certain things and tell. But all those imaginations go wrong, more often go wrong. Therefore, they are good at their own subject, their own anubhava, their own experience of Paramatma, that they transcend their mind and body, and their own experience of Paramatma, their own Brahmajnanam is perfectly correct. Therefore, believe in that, accept that, take their advice in that, a spiritual sadhana and how to attain Atmajnanam or Saguna Brahma or Nirguna Brahma. Take that is okay. But when it comes to other religions and worldly subjects, they are as illiterate as a baby, as any other human being. Therefore, we are not bound to take them. My pointing out is only this much. This much. Our Indian gurus, you take to them whatever they talk of their spirituality, they're really experts, they're really great, and we believe them, we follow them, and we depend on them, they guide us, And we are very lucky to have such our gurus. So we are very lucky to have such people. It is only due to Ishvara's anugraha that you get such people. They need all veneration from us, and then we are their followers, we are disciples, and they are our gurus, they guide us. But when it comes to other things, they just don't know. Don't ask first. First, don't ask them about economics, commerce and sociology, and then politics, or even Islam and Christianity. Never talk, never ask them, because they don't know. If they answer on their own unasked also, verify again from the other books and other sources. And if it goes wrong, Papa, they don't know. You poor people, they just don't know, and leave them. Leave them. Two things: first, don't ask. Second thing, if they answer, just leave them, because they are not expert in that field. They are only imagining. They are only imagining their Hinduism, their own Hindu understanding upon them, and answering. So this kind of experimenting, this kind of over enthusiasm is not good. They should not, and they should say clearly, I don't know about Islam and Christianity. Simply say, I don't know. That's a simple thing. I can tell you about Hinduism, but regarding Islam and Christianity, I don't know. You have to learn from them what they say. Even they are also not reliable. These days, go see, Islam and Christianity right from beginning are not reliable, because they talk according to their purpose of speaking is only to convert you, only to bring you into their religion. Therefore, whatever suits a given person, they have that version. There are different explanations, different versions. They deny also. Some of them, if you ask them, they deny, no, it is not there. So, because it is a propaganda religions, both are, therefore what they say cannot be because they don't have a fixed Siddhanta. But whereas Hinduism, we have a one fixed. What is Advaita? We are well written, and anybody you talk, it is the same teaching. We don't modify it according to the person, because there is no need to convert others. We are talking the universal facts and not to convert a person. It is not a propaganda material. See, regarding the hell and heaven and all that, you talk to a Muslim and a Christian, no, you are most misunderstood. You see, you all Muslim missionaries, Christian missionaries talk one thing. Whenever you criticize them, no, I'm sorry, you have misunderstood. He will tell a lie. In fact, what you say, you are misunderstood. What he called your misunderstanding alone is right. He will hide it, because they try to look more better than what they are. They try to present their religion because it has to appeal to you, and they have to pull you into their religion. After going there, you will realize that's what it is there. But still they have to lie. So lying is a part of their religion. Cheating is a part of their religion, because that's what their God has been doing, their prophets have been doing. Okay, I'm telling you bluntly. Because you talk to them, there is no fixed what is Christianity. You talk to the people. That's why Hindus are unable to understand, because they will never give you the true picture of what is their religion. Because according to the person, they keep on shifting. They keep on changing. Because cheating is the only reality. This much we can say. Because their purpose is to convert you into their religion. So for that, they will tell you anything which appeals to you. They'll see your background, what kind of person you are, what kind of argument convinces you. If it doesn't, if certain things you find fault with, no, that's not our religion. They will deny it and then say something else. Ultimately, to drag you into the religion is the one, cheat you and pull you into their religion. These two alone are true. All other things may be misleading, but only two things are true. They cheat you. They are supposed to lie. Comfortably with a clean conscience, they are supposed to lie to you. And that is a very perfect part of their religion. Nothing to worry. They never have to tell the truth. They keep on hiding and tell the truth. Hiding and tell something else. Okay. Second thing is, whenever they speak, neither they want to learn from you nor learn from other religion. Their only mind is filled with how to pull you into their religion. Only one thought. There is no other thought. You are destined to hell. They alone are destined to heaven. Only two things. There is no compromise, no change. So they can cheat you, they can lie to you. And second thing is, their only intention to bring you into drag you into their religion. These two alone are truth. Remaining everything else is a propaganda material. Okay. The time, the place has come, the context has come, so that I have to indulge in a little bit of comparison with other religions. Okay. But that's not our main. Just to tell you how I had to touch this, because we are all filled with all religions are same. This is a bigger Mahavakya than Vedanta. This has become, unfortunately, a deluding Mahavakya. We have got Mahavakyas and also delusional Mahavakyas also we have got. Our gurus teach you, oh my God. Because our 20th century has been a period of delusion, a century of Hindu delusion. 20th century has been a century of delusion. This delusion caught hold of our gurus first and later our followers, ordinary people. So our 20th century of delusion has caught hold of the Kali Yuga, has an intensity of Kali Yuga, has caught hold of our gurus first. Therefore, there is no guru who doesn't say all religions are same. I tell you, exceptional, maybe there are a few people exception, but almost all people say, almost all. A few, leaving few exceptions. In 20th century, all gurus talk of, all religions talk of same Advaita. You see, very strange fellows. Therefore, because of this delusional 20th century, I had to indulge in little bit of critical analysis, criticism. So we are criticizing more of understanding given to us than the people. Our gurus are respectable to us, we leave them. But the whatever understanding we are given about other religions, regarding those alone, my critical analysis apply. My critical analysis applies to the understanding we received, we are given about the other religions. Okay, so now coming to the topic, I think this is enough. Okay, more some of the things I have discussed in my earlier classes, and if necessary comes, we may discuss sometime later. But presently it is only this much. After the death of the body, Atma exists. It is not the body, therefore no coffin box is required. This is one first important point. We don't have to put in the coffin box, we don't need it to burn away the body, because you are not the body. Just burn away the body or do whatever you like it. Nothing remains of your body. Only thing is, body was your earlier thing. Therefore, through the body, we offer certain rituals to him, certain things to him in whichever world he is, whichever world the previous Atma, the previous Jiva. Atma is same, not previous Atma, because even now he is the same Atma. Jiva Atma, let us say. The previous life, whatever life he lived, the body, in the body he lived, still he is connected to that. Connected in the sense, certain things you offer that will reach him. Therefore, we have got certain rituals we offer in his name through that bones and certain things. So that is only a nimitta, not that he really lives in those bones. He doesn't live in those bones, he left them, but still he has those memories of them. It is something like, even after you leave the house, you sell the house, still you have the memories of the old house. Okay, you leave the house, you buy another house and leave this house particularly, or sell away. Still you have the memories to the old house. Still you may have in your books and other old address. In your notebooks, you may have the old address. Some of your friends have the old address, old telephone number. Still they try to contact, because the old address remains. In your printed books, if there is a books printed, all the books lying in the library, you have got the old address written there. Similarly, that old remains for some time. Therefore, through that you can contact. Therefore, it is used as long as you are in Pitraloka, that old name, old things just use you. But you are not that old body, old bones and etc. That is only external thing. Atma is independent of them. Okay. And the world and the next Janma. The world you go to, the Loka you go to, and the next Janma you take up is decided by the karmas. I told you not all the karmas. Some karmas of this Janma and some karmas of previous Janma also carrying forward. We bring forward. It's not that only this janma is enough for your next janma. Next janma is determined by the activities not of this janma alone, activities of this janma and also previous several janmas, many janmas. So some karmas of previous janmas and this janmas, out of them some of them fructify. Whichever have fructified, they alone. I think this looks more logical and reasonable. Okay? For them, they just don't have. What karma, all this don't count at all. You're just taken to heaven. All of them live in the same heaven. So this looks very illogical, and also morally it is very highly discouraging, demoralizing. So in this life, the type of karmas that you do, there is no encouragement for doing good karmas, because you believe strongly that is enough, do anything. So that's why we see the most of the people are doing any kind of things. That's why misbehaving with others, committing all sorts of things. They are not worried. No serious action is taken against them because the belief saves them. So don't worry. Belief saves you. You commit any crime, but belief saves you. Belief saves you. Only worry about reinforcing your belief. That's all. Retain your belief. That's enough. That will save you. So because of this wrong theology, and it is a demoralizing theology, it affects the society. That's why you can see the double standards they follow with all other people of other religions. From their standpoint I am talking. People of other religions, they misbehave, they exploit, and they do all sorts of things because they are not bound to follow any morality, any ethics towards them. Only so they can exploit, they can kill. So this theology is behind all this kind of behavior, international behavior. Unless we learn them and expose them and defeat them, they continue to be in that thing, in that behavior. They keep on ill-treating you. They keep on destroying, exploiting the worlds and nations. All over the world, the double standard is going on. So whatever ethics taught in their religion, that pertains to, they are supposed to follow that ethics towards their own group of people. Therefore, we can use one word, somebody explained it nicely, in-group ethics, in-group morality. You have a morality to follow only in-group. Out-group, no, you need not follow. You can exploit, you can do anything. That's why any fellow, he violates your constitution, violates our law, he violates the social conventions, he talks something, he gives in writing, they agree you. Many cases you find them. You say agreement, okay, you won't harm us, we will leave you. Yes, they will agree to you, we won't harm you. You surrender all your weapon, then they will come and attack. That means, what is this? They are liars. They are liars. Their religion teaches them to lie. Don't trust them. And first you understand this thing. If they come to attack you, and you also have got weapons and use them, they will promise that, okay, you surrender all your weapons, we won't attack you, we will leave you freedom, we will give you freedom. You believing them, you surrender all the weapon. Instantly they will come and attack and kill you. This is what our history is. All our Indian history, Hindu history, under these two religions is only this kind of experiences. So lying is their religion. I tell you, lying is an essential part of their religion. And dragging you into their religion, that's all. And still you trust them? This is a bigger foolishness on your part. And all your Vedanta is only misleading you. Vedanta means all are good. All are not good. Potentially good. But in their expressions, they have to learn. They have to purify their mind. They have to learn karma, values, good behavior. They have to learn upasanas. So after learning, they become potentially true. All are Brahman. There is no doubt about it. Potentially, everybody is the same Atma. But the mind is there. The mind carries its own samskaras, its own behavior, its own learning, culture. So his expression through the mind. But the mind has got its own beliefs and ideologies, thoughts. Why do you ignore our Hindu Vedantins? Ignore their mind. Mind comes with certain samskaras, certain theologies, certain dogmas, certain behavior, strong entrenched behavior, entrenched dogmas, and their expression depends upon that mind. And you are going beyond the mind. I say Atma is one. True, Atma is one. Who is disputing? Even the hardest core fanatic also is the same Brahman. Hardest core, hardcore fanatics, terrorist is also same Brahman. Who denies that? He is the same Paramatma. Inwardly, at the core, everybody is the same Chaitanya. But the problem is not with the Chaitanya. We are not disputing about the original nature of Chaitanya. There it is one. It is the mind. It is the mind that carries the theologies, dogmas, behavior, customs, culture and everything. The brainwashed, indoctrination. That we are addressing it. So we are relating to that. You don't relate to Brahman. Brahman cannot be related. Brahman is beyond all Vyavahara. Brahman is beyond Vyavahara. You can't relate to Brahman. You can be Brahman. You can't relate to Brahman. Brahman is everybody's Atma. And at that level, you exist neither as you, I exist as me. Me means the individual. In that level of Atma, neither you are that person nor I am this person. We transcend, both of us, transcend our individualities and come to the one truth. At that level, there is no Vyavahara. There is no world, there is no Vyavahara. But when we are dealing with another person, we are in the world. In the world, there is another body, another mind, and we are interacting with another person. I think these Vyavaharik Paramarthik levels are thoroughly mixed up and messed up by our gurus. Our gurus have thoroughly messed up Vyavaharik and Paramarthik. I am not blaming them. I am only correcting your misunderstanding. Okay? I am only correcting the misunderstanding we have got regarding other religions. I am not blaming our gurus. Whatever they said because they were wrongly informed. They just don't know and just said it. Because ultimately we are the sufferers. Therefore, we are supposed to understand the right things. Our next generation will suffer. Therefore, we have to give the right teaching. Okay. Therefore, the Atma, after leaving the body, that is decided by according to your karma. Okay. Shastriyeshu deha patottara kala phaleshu karmasu navyatirikta atma jnanam vina pravritti rupapadyate vidvan hi buddhi purvakari karmasu adhikriyate. A person who knows, I think time is up, I'll just finish in 2 minutes. The person who knows that Atma survives the body, and the next life is decided by the type of karma you do, the type of life, the kind of life you live. If you know these two things, then accordingly you live your karma. Accordingly you live your life. That means this future life, the future life inspires you to live a good life now. Now the life of good values, good karmas, good discipline, morality, ethics, everything you follow, because whatever you do is going to decide your next life. See, this is important. Therefore, a person for following a religious karma, a religious life and religious karma, what inspires you is a knowledge that you survive, you live after the death of the body, you continue to live after the death of the body, and that life is going to be determined by the present life. If you know this present life is connected to the next life, then you will be careful. You will be doing only, it's an encouragement. It inspires you to live a good life. So, a person to do good dharmic karma, this is called dharma, not a dogma. Dogma is, you believe and you will go to eternal heaven. All go to unanimously, all go to same heaven. Your karmas don't count. This is dogma. Dharma is sadhana. Belief is not a sadhana. Belief is just to hold on to a belief. A loyalty, that's all. Hold on to a belief. So dogma is not a sadhana. It is only just to believe. and after the death you will go to eternal heaven. But dharma is cause and effect relationship, an invisible, an underlying deeper cause and effect relationship. Whatever the lifestyle you live, accordingly you will get the next life. This cause and effect relationship. So dharma means cause and effect relationship. Dharma is a sadhana, a particular sadhana for attaining a better life, happier life after the death of the body. Therefore, dharma is cause and effect relationship, and it is a sadhana. Dogma is a belief, and then doing is nothing. You only have to hold on to the belief. This is the difference between dogma and dharma. People always ask, what is dharma? Can you define? What is difference between dogma and dharma? Can you say? This is the difference. Just now I have told you. Dharma is cause and effect relationship. And following dharma means following certain sadhana. Okay? Dogma is just a belief. It's not a sadhana. You have to accept and hold on to that belief. And after the death of the body, you go to this thing. So this is the difference between dogma and dharma. Okay? I think it's not yet complete. The time is up. We will discuss later. Next class. I think this will continue. I will continue some more. The differences I shall tell. But at the same time, how it is due to Adhyasa also I have to tell. And this also I have to tell. It is an additional information, the comparison between other religions. It is so our karmakanda presupposes Adhyasa. Their karmakanda, their religion presupposes not only Adhyasa, it presupposes barbarism also. Okay, dogma also. Not only Adhyasa, there is a dogma, what you call unfounded dogma, a total illusion. Our Shastriya karmakanda presupposes a basic Adhyasa, a universal Adhyasa. Their religion presupposes, of course, the universal Adhyasa. Second is presupposes their dogma, which is an illogical, harmful, dangerous dogma also. Okay, these 2 points you remember. Again, 2 days gap. I think if I remember, I'll tell you. We'll continue in the next class. Okay, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi Om Tat Sat.